the event, which is what we like to see. SLC, Space Station, they always do it right, Andy. We talk about it a lot, but there's so much to do here in the building. But of course, this is the main reason we're here. It's for the Halo. We've got TSM versus FaZe Clan.
Starting things off here on side, we'll see exactly how this is going to go down. It's going to be Lucid actually on your screen here, not Penguin. We'll get that cam swapped out. It's going to be a Lucid early camo grab early on. We'll see what he can do here.
Lucid on your POV, getting camo early here for FaZe. King of the Hill going to be the game type that we're playing. Controlling that first hill going to be so vital just to get a little bit of momentum in this game. And certainly momentum is going to be picked up here if Lucid can hit a couple of shots. Camo shocks in his hand already, so the opening strike here for FaZe has almost worked perfect.
Yeah, this is clean. You saw 3 dead as well at the exact same time that Lucid was grabbing not only camo, but eventually the shot. Now here comes the push.
Should be an easy cleanup. A little bit of damage done to that player. Just holding the angles here on tower. So difficult for anyone at the moment on the TSM side to try and flush out some of these FaZe players. Damage being taken, being pushed all the way back towards blue and struggling to make it even in towards tower at the moment. And look at the progress on that first hill. We are almost there already for FaZe, almost one to the good.
Snakebite just anchoring A as well. What you expect him to be doing, almost gets away with even more damage, however. Finally will be taken out, but what a strong opening here for the side of FaZe Clan. This is exactly what you wanted to see if you're a fan of this new look of FaZe.
Plan is going to go down. I've got to say, TSM have barely had 4 alive, let alone a foot in that hill, and FaZe will strike first here. FaZe will be 1-0 up, and that was almost a flawless hill from them.
2 dead. See exactly what Tala can do here. Going to be another 1 dead on the side of FaZe Clan, which gives an opportunity, in the 2v2. And now it's going to be Penguin coming back to help at C as well.
Penguin trying to get in a position where he doesn't trade this kill, doesn't want that beat down to land. Snakeboy's going to come in to help us out. TSM, 2 in the death screen once again. Camo coming up in around 10 seconds time as well, but look at the time and the control of the map once again. FaZe being very efficient from what we've seen so far at the start of this game.
Yeah, really love what I'm seeing here. And I think if you're a fan of these players, if you've been watching, of course, different looks of this roster, and like we said, it's quite a familiar one with the Snakebite in the place of Formula in terms of previous Optic Gaming runs, or maybe the back whack. Yes, indeed. Finally, it will come through for Druck, and it's an important one there to keep them in this match as well. But as we said, if you're a fan of these players, that's what you expected to see. I think you and Wes put it really well on the desk. You're expecting efficiency and excellence from these 4. However, finding a little bit of opposition here on this next hill.
Yeah, starting to find a few kills, starting to find a little bit of momentum here. TSM, 3 dead for FaZe. Snakebite's going to find 1 though, which is at least going to stagger and allow his teammates to get across the map. But TSM with a pretty good chokehold on this hill at the moment, and I think FaZe are probably thinking we're going to give this one up, and we're going to look to play for next.
And even though FaZe coming out so strong, it's TSM who answers back right away and ties it up here 1-1. So if you thought this might be an easy opening for FaZe, think again here, or knot it up after the first 2 hills, 4 minutes left on the game clock.
Shock rifle about to drop as well, off the back of the double kill that just came in from the POV of FaZe. Trippy now moving down bottom middle. You can hear the slide coming out from Soul Sniper. Soul Sniper's not, though, he's there. Soul Sniper's got to be careful, and I'll tell you what, Trippy nearly did it for him there, but Soul Sniper just about held his nerve.
Yeah, I like those shots there from Trippy. Only 1 shot away from sneaking out a kill. He probably had no business grabbing. 6 kills apiece here, side of Snakebite. Several players on 5 kills already for the side of TSM, and they already lead on the 3rd hill by just a small margin. It's going to be a double kill here for Snakebite.
3 dead on the side of TSM as well, and the turbine control and the hill control will belong to FaZe. Another kill here for Snakebite. Damage coming out of him as well. Steps into the objective now to rack up a little bit of time and says to his teammates, I've done some damage. It's time for you to clean up some kills. But instead, he's going to get another one to his name. Snakebite, the first player in the lobby to cross double digits in the kill department. He's double positive at the moment, 10-5.
10-5, what an opening, especially in a game. Nice shots here coming in from Talik as he stays alive, but especially Lucid with the grab should be able to sneak away as well. He does. However, especially in a game that's this close, for Snakebite to now be 11-5, that's quite a statement, putting the team on his back so far. We'll see if they can get the 3rd hill.
Yeah, understandably, probably a lot of eyes on Snakebite. Let's talk about his performances on that SSG roster, not up to his normal standards. But certainly returning to form here as FaZe will have over half of this Turbine Hill in their control. TSM once again on the back foot, and you can see from the POV of Lucid right now that with another camouflage going their way, he's just able to patrol the map at the moment, find information, but as it dissipates in front of him, now it's about getting those kills, and some good damage onto Torlik on the battery should result in FaZe picking up some more kills here. There's one, there's the second.
More good damage as well, and look at that, how important. Look at the patience coming in from FaZe. 3 dead here for TSM yet again. The patience from Lucid Lucid to get that camo in the end and slowly pick apart Elevator. Then he picks apart Pipes with beautiful damage into batteries as well. This should secure that second hill for FaZe Clan.
Stepping out here, trying to just drag TSM across the map, not let them set up at the back of blue where that next hill is going to be going. They want some engagements to take place where they can win those fights and then progress across the map to that next hill as well. They're saying at the moment to TSM, here's the cheese on the mousetrap, so to speak. Come and get it.
Love this. You don't see enough of this, in my opinion, but when you have a team that's confident, that knows exactly when they can take advantage of an opportunity like this to milk the game clock and take down that time when you know you're going to secure this is quite a statement. However, Trippy is the last alive in batteries, and by being taken down, needs to be careful. It was 4 dead. Now they need to push. Can TSM have the perfect hold and the upset? What a statement that would be.
It's what you would class as a calculated risk from FaZe. Saying to TSM, can you break? Well, TSM have managed to break. And now, all of a sudden, FaZe was probably thinking maybe we should have just stepped inside of that hill because TSM are holding it down and FaZe cannot get across the map.
FaZe was 2 dead as well. Lucid, big opportunity here, needs to fly in. He can't. Look at the board. Look at the board. They will pay the price. They try to bait the hill. TSM punishes them. They take a 2-1 lead and they get 3 dead off the stop as well.
Oh boy. I mean, it's one of those, I say calculated risk, and you have to highlight the word risk because it means that things can go the wrong way, and that's exactly what happens. TSM steal the Turbine Hill away. They're up 2-1 now. And like you mentioned, Soul Snipe off the back of the kills as well. He manages to get the next camo. Good damage coming in, but I don't think those kills are going to be cleaned up. 2 players from FaZe have managed to break towards the long haul, and FaZe will have control of that next hill, but they've got to refocus here, FaZe. That's going to be a real heartbreaking moment for them. It was perfect from FaZe. We could not talk enough about what we just saw with the camo grab, with the damage, just picking up every kill. They had 3 or 4 dead, and that's when they baited the hill, and it cost them. It's very rare that you see this at that level, and I would say very rare that you see a slip-up like that from these 4 players in their first series as a team together. What a series of events. However, they lead now in the 4th hill. Leading the 4th hill, but at 2-1, it's interesting to highlight that TSM ahead in the game on the objective points, but heavily being outslayed at the moment. There's only 1 player on the TSM side, and that's Soul Snipe, who's positive, and he's only +1 at the moment.
Snakebite here to be 16-8, and they're going to close this one out comfortably as the TSM's going to let this one go. We'll now be tied 2-2, but Snakebite certainly has to be thinking at 16-8. How are we just down 2-1?
Yeah, and I wonder if, Snakebite on our POV here was thinking, do I step out and try and repeat what we just had happen?
Absolutely
or
not.
Are we going to just make sure we secure this one and tie it up at 2-2? 1 minute 58 left on the game clock here, and FaZe decide that the risk was not worth taking this time around.
Maybe it'll be a little bit of a adjustment to the risk profile of FaZe Clan for the rest of the series, maybe even the tournament. That's the type of thing that you remember allowing that to happen. However, they look cool, calm, and collected here in the 5th hill now, leading by 50% to 0.
3v3 on the map right now. Camo coming up, and that bottom middle hill, such a difficult one to control, but FaZe have managed to control it for 50% of the time they need to go up 3-2 here, but now they're finding themselves 3, almost 4 dead as a spawner comes back onto the map here, and TSM have broken, and I'm pretty sure that TSM should have been able to collect that camo as well.
Should be, and now here comes the pipe push. See if Soul Snipe can hold this off. Takes minimal damage on the first pick. It's going to be a big deal. Finally, he is flushed out, so a 1-for-1 trade on the push. However, here is the camo for Druck.
Druck deciding to play for kills here. Doesn't want to get traded in this position, but does get traded in that position. TSM will lose control of the hill, lose a couple of players, and lose the power-up. And FaZe will step back into that hill for just a second there. Penguin with an important kill. Snakebite taken down as the numbers will be even now. Ooh. And this little run here from TSM might be the run they need to take the lead in this game. Lucid trying to stay alive on the stacks. He goes down. Penguin last alive, and they know where he is as well.
Yeah, we'll see Snakebite spawner here off the wall. Almost gets the stick as well. It's good control, and they might even close out this hill right here.
FaZe needs to get numbers on the map here. And they need to formulate one more push. They need to clear out the hill, and that's what they do. First kill is the hill player. Lucid finds 2.
Wow.
And the break will come in as TSM were just a slither away from going up 3-2. They double the hill, they jump into it together, and TSM will take the lead here. They're up 3-2.
Well, 1:16 left on the game clock. It's a really good double stack, as you said. It looked like FaZe was maybe going to get the stop from control and bottom elevator. Instead, however, they double stack the hill. They make sure to also get the extra pick. That secures things. 3 dead for TSM. 1:10 left on the game clock. This has been exactly what we expected here. Back and forth between FaZe and TSM.
Important kill here from Torlik as well, because he was last alive for TSM. That's just going to slow things down a little bit, allow TSM to get on the map and put this push together. And off the back of it, Manny will find the second kill now inside of that hill. Now turn your memory back to this first hill. It was completely dominated by FaZe Clan. The question is, have TSM learned from that? And will they be able to keep them at bay? With Druck picking up a double, the answer is looking like yes.
2 dead. Snakebite also has forced to drop here. So we'll see if TSM can start to get some time. However, it was a momentary 2v2. They stopped. Camo does not get burned. Still down bottom mid with 3 dead for TSM. Trippy, however, looks like going to go for the grab.
2 players going to flood bottom middle. Smart play to put the numbers there from FaZe, knowing that Torlik was the last alive in that position. Manning with a nice little perfect, though, has made this a little bit dicier.
Where's that
Penguin still inside of that hill. Insta-Splod's going to go in there. Doesn't quite connect to get the kill. Snakebite and Trippy will find a couple, and TSM now have to go. They have to get a little bit desperate now.
Torlik, last player alive. Desperate indeed. 35 seconds left and just going to have to hope help is going to come. He's going to have to try to force. Trade is big, though, there. This should be at FaZe Hill.
Didn't get the trade, though. Trippy stayed alive in that situation, got the beatdown, and FaZe will tie the game up with 35 seconds left on this game clock. More than likely, we're going to be going towards sudden death unless FaZe can stay in that hill. This hill will win here. A nice double kill coming in from Penguin as well with that battle rifle. FaZe control the blue tunnel here. And TSM are going to have to force FaZe onto the back foot here.
FaZe looks so strong in this home stretch. Lucid, by the way, 24 and 14, putting up huge numbers here. Already 50% of the way done here on what could be the final hill.
TSM doubling the back of this hill. Snakebite inside of it. Penguin doing some great damage. Jiggle peeking around this blue box, but he's going to be taken down. TSM, 2 of them will fall. Last 2 are going to be at the back of blue. Druck is no shield. Soul Snipe, the last hope. He will go down as well. And it should be FaZe now who can step in that hill and should be about to convert this game.
Yeah, based on the spawns, they got to drop stacks here immediately. I don't think they'll have the time. This really should be it.
Torlik just waiting bottom middle, seeing if he can get someone else to challenge with him, but he'll take damage on the way forward. Penguin with a double, Lucid with the 3rd, and FaZe close out game number 1, 4-3 here on Recharge King of the Hill. But boy, not a bad game to start things off here, was it? This series that we do have in front of us as we hop into our game number 2. And the reason that I highlight that is FaZe have been very good online in those flat game types. But Slayer is going to be our focus right now, and our focus is going to be on a man called Snakebite.
Knows he should have got that kill. You see the head kind of just hit back because he wanted to finish that kill. It looked like a guaranteed kill that would come in cuts. And now instead, Penguin's going to just do what he can to stay alive with the snipe. First few kills will go to TSM.
Staying alive with that sniper rifle is so important. 3 dead on the side of TSM, so even after a slow start from FaZe, losing a couple battles on that power-up side of the map, they are going to have control of the sniper rifle and keep the game tied up. So important moments there for them, and a smart decision from Penguin just to make sure that rifle stays in their hands.
What was just 3-1 now goes 4-4 as FaZe Clan makes sure that they keep things not only close, but as you say, with the snipe in hand, 4 shots still left. And we'll see where the break's going to be. Kills now exchange once again. Soul Snipe picks up 1, so does Snakebite. That brings us to 6-5 TSM. A big camo opportunity for Snakebite.
Torlik spotting him out. Looking for that stick. Snakebite just trying to put himself in a frustrating position to chase down here for TSM so that he can come back and influence some of these fights. There's 1. Wow. There's 2 for Snakebite. That's a killing spree for him. 5-2 at the start of this game, but the game tied up at 8-8.
Snakebite again with an enormous start. More than double positive off of the opening, and really nice, as you said, camo plays on the key door ledge to make sure that he controlled that lane, is able to go back to concrete to make sure those 2 kills are cleaned up. And as you say, we're tied at 8.
Very deliberate and slow pace to this game at the moment, though. Is that everyone is very aware.
I mean,
as you said, 2 dead can turn into a 10-kill difference.
As you said, this has the feels of a later bracket stage, right? This has the feels of a Slayer that you'd see in a winner's final between these 2, and no one wanting to give either team an inch. You don't always get to see this in the first match of a tournament on Pool Play Friday. Usually it's a little bit of blowouts, but instead just a 1-kill game and a very slow-paced, methodical game with a lot of respect being shown from both sides.
That's probably because this man still has the sniper rifle as well. He picks off 1 headshot, then there's a body that gets cleaned up by Snakebite. So TSM want to slow this game down. They know if it gets quick that it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to break with that sniper rifle harrowing one of those lanes they're trying to progress on the map. But finally they take down Penguin. Finally that sniper rifle will be out of commission, and at 11-11, TSM done a great job considering they've not had snipe or camo in this first passage of play.
Yeah, they really have here. They've managed to keep this thing close, and just like they did in game number 1, but kind of a very similar story with FaZe with a narrow lead. Good shots do come in from Manny to keep the game close yet again. However, it's Snakebite that spoils that with a nice flank here. This next camo will be big.
3 in a row for Snakebite. By the way, just casually 9-2 in this game.
In a game they lead by 2-1.
You would have thought people would have learned by now that the last thing you want to do in any tournament situation is piss Snakebite off, because he will come back and put on a performance that everyone will remember. 18 and 217 in this game, with just over 9 minutes left. Nobody really getting a commanding lead so far.
Camo and Snipe about to be in the mix. I'm curious if we see a game blow wide open here, or if things are just kind of going to go trade for trade yet again here. 20-19 in favor of FaZe.
Yeah, trade for trade is exactly what happens. It's Snakebite who gets the 3rd kill here, which will leave him in a 1v1 on the map versus Druck. That's how tight this game is. There is Druck though, and he has the repulse, which makes that fight heavily in his favor. But the result means we're tied up again, 22-22. We have not seen more than a 1 or 2 kill advantage for the entirety of this game.
Man, we called Pool D the pool of death for a reason here, and even though we saw FaZe, as we said, opt into this pool by taking the seed, opting out of the last tournament to get here, you can just tell that this pool is as tight as it is here, 22-22, just tied at the halfway mark.
Talk about the strong performances so far from Snakebite. Well, Lucid having a little bit of a slow start. He's only got 1 kill on to his name at the moment. 2 dead here for TSM, as a 2 kill gap will be established here by FaZe, which feels like a chasm at this point in the game from what we've seen.
Also, what an opportunity. We talked about this year, how many players have their kind of career story on the line in this year. And now that we know that it's the final year of Halo Infinite, that changes the story even more. And what brings me to that point is Snakebite, 11 and 5 here. He knows how much is on the line. Great trade comes out in the end from Penguin. 3 will fall for TSM. But with Snakebite putting up numbers like this, 12 and 5 over double positive, you have the feeling that this man is here to show up for the final 3 events of the season.
6 kills now the difference. Ever since that small gap opened up in the favor of FaZe, they have started to take a bit of control into their own hands. Let's get a Trippy looking for one. Spots the repulse out, doesn't want to go for that trade, but he doesn't need to get involved because his teammates will do the job for him. 50-35, FaZe up by 2.
Underway in game number 3.
Game number 3 is live, and as we wait for the first kill to come in, just want to give a shout out to the room, by the way. So many people already here at SLC at the 2nd major of the year. I'm looking forward to hearing the noise coming out of the crowd for these players and teams as the weekend progresses. Speaking of progression, Penguin with a little slide into PD there, secures the kill, and the oddball is in FaZe's hands.
Early hold here for FaZe, and also early red gun control from Penguin. We've seen him do damage with this in many, many ways, without a doubt. Going to try to stay alive, and he does, gets the assist. It's an early 20-point lead here for FaZe Clan, and couldn't agree more, Mark. Ooh, nice little evasion of the nade. Finally, he's taken down, but I couldn't agree more. Amazing Friday crowd here already at this major here in Salt Lake City. Unsurprisingly, when you have a match like this to start the day, you expect the main stage to be filled up.
All ball in a neutral position at the moment. TSM will finally get it in their hands. Tolik being a little bit of a nuisance. He's furthest up at the map at the moment. TSM holding it in and around Arcade at the moment, so they don't have control of an end of the map around the tower or, of course, towards the tram side. So it's a little bit of an odd setup for them at the moment. If they don't check their corners here, FaZe, they might be in for a surprise, but they're too experienced for that.
Tolik with a very nice timing push there, actually. He was kind of in the crosshairs of 3 players, but actually got to the boxes with his shields not yet charged. However, FaZe, as you said, very wise on checking that corner together. They don't allow any trades. That is 2 dead still for FaZe. TSM, but a nice little stick comes in from Manny to even things up just a bit.
Yeah, a little bit of repulse stick there. Just make sure he takes one with him, but TSM losing numbers in this fight. Another trade here on the B stairs, but Lucid will be able to collect that odd ball. The numbers staggered in the favor of FaZe momentarily, and Trippy securing that tower off of his respawn means that Lucid can bring that ball back and turn his attention to some kills, but a nice pinch from TSM through bottom middle. And on the Arcade side now means that FaZe will be 3, make that 4 dead, and TSM should be able to grab the ball and that camo as well.
Unofficial triple comes in there for Tolik, and as you said, it's a perfect pinch there with the music, and the timing on the laundry jump to take down Lucid was key. It looks like they were going to have the rotation, but instead, they get even more time on the board, and TSM will now go into the lead and maintain camo control.
Mentioned how TSM only need to get one little play go their way, and all of a sudden, that switch gets flicked, and they start to look like the team who placed in those Championship Sunday later stages at that last event. Penguin has the red gun though. Manny's going to find that camo, disappears at just the wrong time, gets the trade. But in that situation, you want a little bit more. But TSM do have a lead in this game, in this round. But FaZe should have an opportunity to grab a little bit of time here as Lucid scoops that ball up.
Two dead for both sides. We'll see as TSM looks for a timing push. They'll fly in right away, but it's really good laning coming in from Penguin with the red gun. He's forced to retreat. Here comes the push.
Interesting to highlight as well, though. Objective time for FaZe at the moment, it's all Lucids. Snakebite finally gets his first second on the board, just to ruin my statement, as Penguin now continues to look forward with Lucid alongside him, and maybe dropping that oddball was the right call, as Lucid will find two. Such good switching here from Penguin. We've seen him time and time again, just single-handedly dealing a whole ton of damage and then staying alive at A. However, finds himself as one of two last alive. Oh, has a nice little double kill as well. Immediately turns his attention towards the pink streak, gets the call out that Soul Snipe is going to be creeping up, and he was momentarily the last alive as another kill was picked up by Lucid onto Manny. So oddball heavily in the hands of FaZe right now, and TSM just looking to break some time here to get the numbers to break the setup of FaZe.
How long has Penguin been alive at A? Feels like 2.5 minutes. This is unbelievable. Just holding down this area, and that double kill that he got bottom A had no business doing so. That keeps him alive. Finally, he'll get pitched out, but look what it did for the scoreboard. It's now a big lead here at 61-39 for FaZe.
But TSM buying that time and waiting those few extra seconds now means that they have been able to break. And with 3 dead on the side of FaZe, very similar story to what we saw before, because it's not just the break, it's not just the up ball that's in their hands. They get that next camo as well.
See what they can do with here, trailing by only about 15 or so. Continuing to claw back at the score, and now with red gun control, maybe an opportunity to get the first pick. They lead, they trail by less than 10.
All the goodies in their hands at the moment here. TSM red gun, we mentioned the camo, and we're about to see a lead change as well.
Rotate here.
This setup is what we saw before. A little ninja in the feed, by the way, from Torlik. We know not to get too excited about them until we see the replay, because we all know and have been on the receiving end of things that we're like, huh?
We need to see the tape before we get too excited. Two dead though, but what a rotate. What a rotate first of all to Tram, and then what a rotate as they take the Tram bait, and now the lead here. Perfectly done to get that ball up driveway through music. Now it's all the way back at PD. Very nice, essentially nearly a 360-degree rotation coming in. You don't always see that. TSM now leads 79-61.
As Torlik has been leading the way for kills here for TSM. He's 12-5 in this game. Everyone else kind of hovering around even. On the FaZe side, slow here for Lucid. And slow here for Trippy as well. 80 points on the board, already collected as TSM look to get this round on the board. They feel like 1 or 2 more team fights going their way, and this should be a TSM round. They get 2 dead. They move that ball back to tower. PD spawns are going to be blocked as well, so this might be an opportunity for TSM to close out here, but Lucid with the first pick. Maybe there's hope for FaZe to break.
That's what we were all looking for. Soul Snipe as well. Was any PD spawns? They do not come in here. Final 5 seconds.
Big damage. Can they get the kill? Yes, they can. They break at just the last moment.
Oh boy.
TSM with 2 in the death screen, and Trippy makes it 3. Last player alive is going to be Torlik. He's just trying to get in a position to trade here. Won't trade. He stays alive because Soul Snipe comes in at the last second.
He's still alive as well.
And now things get shaky on the side of FaZe.
Wow. What a big deal that trade would have been. Instead, it's not. Here comes the push. Here comes the pressure. Torlik still alive.
No trade again, but TSM find themselves 3 dead. FaZe will get that oddball.
Soul Snipe has to wait.
Trippy will get that camo as well. And FaZe have a chance here. But they will have to be perfect in these last few moments.
Wow. Talk about down to the wire. Everything on the line for Trippy. This is going to be the final push for TSM. They need to make it happen right now.
Druck with that red gun. Wins the fight against Trippy.
Do they go for the grab?
That is huge because the numbers are there as well for TSM. They go for the grab. And off the back of the 1v1 win, thanks to that Stalker rifle, TSM will close out round number 1. And all of a sudden, our eyebrows are lifted and our eyes are wide, because this, all of a sudden, is looking like a very different feeling series.
As you said, what a win from Druck on benches. It's the kill that makes him go positive in the game, but much more importantly, it is the kill that wins the round against the camo player. And you have to wonder about the play call from FaZe Clan, rotating that to bottom C stairs, and benches left them pretty open to a lot of angles. And of course, it's easy for us to call, hindsight being 20/20, but in the end, regardless, it costs FaZe Clan. TSM takes the first round in the final moments.
It's like one of those situations where in your face, it's like they have camo, they're kind of juggling the ball, we want to let the camo play. It's like you're trying to do too much because you've got too much. It makes the decisions a little bit more convoluted, a little bit more complicated on how you try and close out those first moments, but sometimes it comes down to the big moment, right? And that's the 1v1. You saw the Stalker Rifle in the hands of Druck to win that fight and that engagement that gave TSM the space to grab that ball. Big swing moments in the final seconds as TSM will be up by 1, but FaZe answering back strongly at the start here of round number 2.
And you start to wonder, maybe it's a little bit of deja vu from that game number 1 when FaZe Clan gave up a hill when trying to bait the game clock. Maybe it's going to be a repeat because so far the scoreline is indicating that FaZe Clan has no intentions of losing this second round. They're already up 34-1.
Enemy has the ball. Ball drop.
Ball in PD at the moment, but everyone just kind of finding it a bit scrappy. A couple of trades coming in on back tower, and Penguin decides, you know what, let's try and get this out towards the spawner. Let's make this even more scrappy. Let's see if I can get out of this situation with a trade. But unfortunately, he comes out of it without doing any damage whatsoever. It was 3 dead on the side of FaZe, and TSM, momentary numbers and a pinch on the last 2 players of FaZe here should get these kills. And I think that also Tolic spied out that spawner at Cafe as well.
What looked like it was going to be a nice little delay coming in from FaZe instead does not play in their favor because TSM collapses so fast. It was 4 dead stagger for FaZe Clan. TSM playing that what could have been a very different scenario very well on the timing to bait that into plans, into concrete, as well as into PD. And they will now cut the lead in half. See where this camo goes. That could really determine if TSM gets right back into this game, and they're going to grab it.
And Tolic, the turret in that situation, just standing bottom middle, waiting for that camo to come up. But with that battle rifle doing so much damage and continuing to contribute to kill after kill after kill. TSM will go into a lead in the next few moments. And this man has been a damage machine.
Masterclass from Tolic. This has been absolutely beautiful. He was taking risky damage there over at Cafe. He knew he could have been taken down. He gets both assists, gets the 3rd assist, and as his shields are still charging, starts the first engagement to push them back even further. It's perfect from Tolic, and it's a huge comeback. They were trailing by 36. They now lead 54-36 here. TSM leading again in the second round.
Now Tolic just continuing to just contribute damage. He's 18-10 in this game, but it feels like every time we're on his POV, he is finding a way to not just output damage, but survive as well. It's 3 dead for FaZe Clan, and TSM are coming to life in this game.
Unbelievable. 19, 18, and 10. Do not adjust your monitor. Those stats are unbelievable from Tolic, leading not only in kills in the game, just trailing, by 1 to Druck, but leading by a huge margin in the assist category with 18. Those are wild numbers here as he continues to add objective time to the piece of the puzzle as well.
Another fight he takes. This one he won't win. Finally, the momentum just gets stopped by Trippy. But Druck's got some of his own at the moment. 21 and 14 for him with 11 assists as well. 3 dead on the side of FaZe once more. Snakebite trying to at least take 1 with him. Opal down a little bit of a funky position, though, for both teams to try and access. But now with 3 dead for FaZe, you can take all the routes you want. You can take all the time you want because nobody is going to be there to stop TSM grabbing that Opal once more.
TSM just fine with the funk. They'll take it, and they will continue rolling. They bring it back into Tram here. Only 15 points from closing out the game.
Big 1v1 here. A little bit of sprint strafe coming in from Druck as well. That's going to solidify the 1v1 win for him. And FaZe starting to get a little bit desperate here. And that's because of the clock, that's because of the time, and it's going to be TSM, who have 3 members of FaZe dead, with Trippy falling as the 4th, who will take this round in just 1 second. Druck should be able to grab this ball.
Especially with that pick. They're going to wait, they're going to bait, they're going to get a few kills here, and then they will comfortably be able to grab 4 dead.
4 dead. Make a statement, TSM. They are back in this series as they will take this game.
Into the
next game, everyone. Let's go. Welcome to game number 4. Just in time to not only save our careers, but also to keep us locked into this series. TSM just won that previous game of Oddball and made the series 2-1. And now they're looking to send it to a game 5.
Right back in here, as just in case you're just joining us, in what looked like it would be a clean sweep for FaZe Clan, has been interrupted. TSM steals game number 3. It's an Oddball Streets and a 2-0 win to get right back into the series here. We'll see if they can force a game number 5.
Not surprising to see it a little bit scrappy off the start here. TSM do have a 1-person advantage on the map momentarily, but Tolic's just going to be rotating back to make sure that they clean out the gen side and the car side of their base before they do anything. But I think he might have missed someone there. Someone just sneaking around. He can't find him, and Penguin will pick up a very vital kill here. Looks for a second as well. Snakebite's going to help him out, so the teamwork looking very, very good here on the FaZe side, but that bomb yet to progress anywhere on the map.
Manny was last player alive. They keep 2 dead, 3 dead again. Really good pressure here as they keep 3 dead. Tolic is now your last player alive here on Pink Street. Taken down as well. Staggered spawns yet again. Only one alive.
Where's that bomb though? Bomb's still down bottom middle. No one from FaZe has managed to get that bomb in their hands to progress it. And TSM, as the bomb finally starts to move,
does feel like a late grab.
Are trapped in the back of their base. But Penguin, with this green gun, strip away some shields and turn 1 kill into a double very, very quickly. And when you're trapped in the back of a base, it's a scary place to be. But Tolic out of nowhere gets the job done and clears out a few FaZe players from his jet.
1v1. See what can happen here. Big opportunity for Snakebite to keep the pressure on. He does! Tolic's going to spawn, but he should be able to get a touch here. Most importantly, a very important 1v1. This will allow them to keep the pressure. Will the help come in time? That's the question. Can Snakebite stay alive in the util? Based on positioning, it looks like he will be able to fight yet again.
A bit of a split of priorities here for TSM as well. It's not just the bomb they're worried about, it's camo as well. That's just popped up top middle. And they also know the position of Snakebite, who gets out of that situation, not getting traded out. Manny, he becomes the 2nd kill, and with 3 dead, they lose camo. That bomb is moving, and Soul Snipes had his shields ripped apart. I'm pretty sure that no one is really in a position to stop this. It's a hero play top middle, but the 2nd touch comes in, and FaZe will strike. They will get that bomb armed.
Well, love the patience there from FaZe. I am quickly corrected. You might have heard me start to say it felt like a late bomb grab, but instead, how about Snakebite winning the 1v1 on the stairs to keep the bomb alive? And like you said, Mark, a split of priorities to send 2 players Pink Street off the spawn there when Snakebite is still alive in your util as a solo player. That is a decision.
Been split a bit here, TSM on the spawns as well. You can see 3 dead once again. It's a killing spree. This time, it's going to be Lucid. It's 3 dead. As the spawner just jumps back onto the map here for TSM, but the bomb is already in their base. FaZe are going to go back-to-back here.
Look at this, still 2 dead. The nades will come. They don't look good. And that's going to be clean. Not even any damage taken for Lucid, as he will score the 2nd bomb of the game. And just like that, up 2-0. Unbelievable opening from FaZe Clan. Patient at first, and now they are punishing.
So efficient. Manny finally clears out a couple of players on his side of the map, and TSM will have a chance to reset. It's been an absolute whirlwind for them in the last few moments, barely been able to get on the map.
And once again, I'm so surprised. I might not even have time. We'll see TSM now going to be able to push here. And it's good pressure, but they need to get a few more picks on the board. Only Penguin down if they can continue to advance. Here it comes.
1 dead inside of the base. Snakebite is still alive there, though. That grenade's going to give away his position, but the wrap back from Trippy. There's 2 players here from TSM. Manny's going to reach out. He's going to find one. Bomb is down on the shroom stairs, though. 2 players still wrapping back in from FaZe, just consistently pressurizing, but one of them will fall. Lucid, last man standing now. As Soul Snipe tries to trap him in that base and get that bomb towards that arming spot.
Almost gets taken down from the fridge angle, knows he needs to stay alive. Still a lot more kills to be earned if we want to see this bomb advance for TSM. And Lucid stays alive long enough to buy all the time. Still 2 dead though, maybe 3 in a second. Snakebite with a big kill.
Yeah, just sliding down there, Snakebite. Barely had any shields, but had enough to get his reticle onto the head of that TSM player and make sure that FaZe get a little bit of space on the map. Finally outside of their base here. And now fighting for the 50-yard line. The camo will be in the hands of Tolic. 4-7 in this game, not quite the monumental generational impact he had in that previous game in the 2nd round, but with this camo has a chance here to create an opening here for TSM.
Lucid last player alive front base, but Lucid picks up 1, which is a big deal to keep his spawners just really in the fight. Gonna buy them a lot of time. If he had fallen solo, we might have seen the bomb moving immediately to stairs. However, TSM is gonna have to pause as a result.
Yeah, after the back-to-back bomb arms coming in from FaZe, TSM have had a good amount of map pressure here. FaZe have barely been able to get over halfway themselves, just wrapping back into their base, making sure that they keep it scrappy and they make that bomb contested. 7 minutes left on this game clock, so plenty of time for TSM to work with, but they're going to have to get it right numerous times here. One mistake, and that will be game and series going to FaZe.
It's a big opportunity here for TSM. It was 3 dead momentarily here. They're going to have to flush out both the stairs. 3 dead. Once again, Lucid last player alive back base. Let's see what he does. He picks up a kill yet again. Tolic knows that had he got that one, it could have been a very different fate. Instead, the bomb is tossed out right away.
An easy kill in the front of the base here for Lucid. Will indeed find that one. Second player is going to be even more simple. It's a double kill handed to him thanks to his teammates' damage on the map. Now wrapping through the pink side, blocking these fridge spawns and forcing TSM onto the car side of the map.
Big assist once again for Lucid and Penguin, both on double-digit numbers. SoulSnipe wins that one. It will be traded out in the end, but as another camo goes to Penguin, you have to think for TSM, a big opportunity here because even though you're trailing 2-0, this is the type of game type. Beautiful shots coming in from Penguin. The type of game type where you can really afford to be continually aggressive, and because of the nature of the game type, you can go 4 dead and still live to fight through the next battle. So we'll have to see if TSM really puts their foot down on the gas in these final 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was a really important kill on Penguin, actually. He had the camo. He was trying to use the thrust to cross that line of sight to get into the TSM base where he really could be a nuisance. But instead, a couple of players off the damage turned around and made sure that he was dealt with. So TSM dealing with the biggest threat on the map there has now allowed them just to progress and finally get out of their base.
3 dead here for TSM, 3 dead for both sides. 1v1 Tolik versus Lucid, as Lucid is just going to try to stay alive and once again see if he can challenge any spawners here.
Flips the shields away from Manny. Just a little touch. Oh my god, a touch and a snap.
Wow.
Onto Manny there to get that kill. Finally taken down here by Drock as the shields don't quite recharge in time. But a little touch on the bomb there just to move it to the car side as he was last alive. Interesting as well. Knowing that wherever he is on the map, it's likely that the FaZe are going to be spawning closer. So it keeps that bomb more in their control than the last alive player from TSM.
Not gonna lie, that was nasty from Lucid to see that play out, to see how hard the pre-nade hit, but he did not hold back. Flies right in and hits the 180 to close that kill. Now Snakebite with 3 dead, wants to end it here.
Damage being taken, but Manny, he's going to be spotted out. He's got a player inside of the base. This could be the series. This could be the game. Trippy is alongside him, gets a kill. Trying to focus now with that battle rifle onto Druck. Penguin, closest player alive, who could get that touch and look to get that arm. But FaZe will lose 3, and TSM with a goal line stand in front of their base. Not just for the game, but for the series as well.
Needed to make the ceiling nades count, and they did. You thought, I agree, I thought we were going to see a finish. They had 2 players stacked. However, looks like the nade damage did the trick. 2 will fall, and TSM will live to fight for at least another few minutes here. We'll see if they can get a bomb on the board.
SoulSnipe getting that camo is so important as well because FaZe are picking up kills all around the map. Outside of that, Lucid being a little slippery pickle. Finally will be taken down. 25 seconds until that bomb resets. I'm sure FaZe would love to get a touch on it. Penguin last alive though, and TSM have actually done a fantastic job from almost seeing the series flash before their eyes to now being in control of the map.
Ooh, very nicely done here once again from SoulSnipe as well. He flew right in right away. And I even love the damage, the little bit of damage he got on Penguin top middle, just making sure he's part of every battle that he can be.
Druck takes the 1v1, SoulSnipe will clean it up. But where's that bomb? It's in their hands.
Oh.
FaZe are 3 dead. Lucid gets spotted out. He's last alive. TSM will half the deficit. They will arm the bomb and make this a 2-1 game. A few seconds ago, they were probably thinking about who we play next, and now they're thinking about sending this series the distance.
And they do it without forfeiting a lot of time in the game clock. There's still a lot to play here, and we said they needed to get 1 on the board. Now that they've done that, they can take their time, they can find the right mix of kills. They don't have to be desperate. If they feel like they need to slay just a bit more, they can. 3:20 left on the clock.
Bomb taken. Bomb taken.
Snakebite just moving that bomb towards the FaZe side of the map. 4 dead here for TSM, so even though the momentum is probably just shifted a little bit in their favor off the back of that bomb arm, FaZe answer back immediately, which is so important for them. We saw how a double arm can happen very, very quickly if control is kept. Well, FaZe do manage to fight out of that situation and now have control of the majority of Aquarius here.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want at your FaZe. Just continue to play this game. Use that 1 bomb cushion. 3 will fall, though. Here comes the run. Trippy with a big kill as the solo player. Looks like he probably will be taken down. Good damage, though.
3 dead for FaZe. Last player's in front of the base. Penguin will trade out 1. Huge. That is vital for allowing the rest of his team back on the map. But TSM starting to swarm now. Starting to move up towards the FaZe side of the map.
Ooh, where does this camo go? This could be big. Not burned. Somehow, some way, Manny stays alive and dodges the nades that follow. And this camo could decide the game.
Lucid spotted him out. Trippy!
Lucid and
Had
Trippy.
to hit the perfect shots and manages to do so.
How annoying from Lucid, huh? Just BR popping shots. Hopping around, and Trippy comes in to finish the camo. That could be the dagger, but there's still 2 minutes left to play.
Bomb's down on the pink side here. It's going to make it dicey for both sides. Spawns are going to be close to where that bomb is, which means that LOSs are going to be available for both teams. Better probably for FaZe, knowing that they can come off the spawn with having that lead in their hands. Can make sure that they can keep eyes on that bomb, but TSM now starting to move it towards the front of the base. Snakebite's gonna fall, but Druck is last alive. He goes down as well. 4 dead for TSM. 1 minute 35 here for FaZe to survive.
Really good teamwork there from FaZe. You saw when Snakebite got a lot of damage. Team is able to clean it up. And now they get the first pick as well on Soul Snipe, which is going to buy them just a little bit more comfort. 2 dead, now 3 dead again! Last player alive, back base.
And do you go for the kill shot here? Oh my god, the thrust! Do you go for the kill shot? It is going to be FaZe and Lucid who clear the path for this bomb. But with 1 minute 14 left on the clock, the decision has to be made. Do we go for the arm? Or do we just play a little bit of Slayer? TSM overextending to try and take top mid control. They're going to 3-man lane this, but the shot's coming in from Lucid and the bomb arm coming in. This is looking like FaZe should take the game, that FaZe should take the series. At the last second, the stomp comes in. They don't get the arm. But TSM 4 dead will finally get the arm, and FaZe will close this out 3-1 in not just this game, but in the series as well.